We started in sort of like August last year, but we weren't writing, like, we really got into it from January onwards. This is probably the most time we've spent writing an album.
That's the Spirit we wrote in about 2 months. This record, it just took a lot longer, but we knew it would, because we kind of like said to ourselves it's not going to be the same kind of record, and we're not going to use the things that made us popular again. Like, we wanted to do everything different and not repeat ourselves and push ourselves and kind of take a lot of creative risks and stuff like that. It just took ages to find those sounds and, you know, for it to all click.
We listen to a lot of other stuff. I think the stuff that like makes us excited and gives us inspiration is usually not like rock bands. We listen to a lot of like electronic music. We listen to a lot of old stuff as well. I think it works better for us to take that inspiration and excitement from other genres, because it kind of then feeds into our music and makes it weirder and a bit more different.
I think we're quite inspired by the bands that we don't necessarily listen to. We're inspired by bands that carve out their own identity and push on and always surprise people, generate a new sound by taking elements from different places and stuff. And even when we were writing heavier music, we all had a love for the kind of music that we write now.
Every song on the record's completely different. In one song on the record that sounds like similar to another one. It's a lot more experimental, I guess you'd say. Or
it's not just about how poppy it is or how accessible it is, but it really feed into the lyrics and what we stand for and stuff like that. So we're not ashamed to be like, we want to be that band, we want to be that gateway band for people to get into rock music and stuff.
When you're writing music, sometimes when you do something that you haven't done before, you go, that's wild, we can't do that. Like, it just feels like, at first we were going, it's just like, these like R&B melodies, and this song sounds like Oasis and all this stuff. And take a step back and look, it does it. It sounds like
we write songs in the same way, but sonically and lyrically it's all quite different, isn't it?
The fact that every time we bring an album out it is different is almost something you come to expect from our band. I think one thing we knew we wanted to do is really kind of bridge that gap between the rock elements of what we do and the electronic elements. But the thing is as well, there's a lot of guitar. We merged it in such a way that it is really hard to tell them apart. Whereas people might think there's less guitar on there, it's not. It's just, I think the way we've put them together this time is really like, you can never tell. There's Grimes. Grimes is like a avant-garde pop artist. She's someone that I've liked for ages. Like, I've always been a fan of her work, and she was really involved with the song. Like, she definitely, it's got her touch throughout. Like, she didn't write any of it, but she added her own sounds and ideas to the song. And
I think Jordan had this bonkers idea of actually getting Razel on the record. So we just known him from just being mental at beatboxing, you know what I mean? And so we reached out to him and he was keen.
Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth is the other guest. I think we thought it'd be cool to have a little, almost like a little throwback reference.
It's kind of in touch with our roots. We had up that, obviously, we wanted something from our world, but not just like one of our contemporaries. We wanted someone that represented heavy rock music. People get this misconception that we're ashamed of where we came from or whatever because of how much we changed.
We're happy where we are, but I always feel like you have to keep fighting to just maintain. You always want to do it better and stuff, so you want to be able to keep doing it. It feels like the world's a lot harder place for a rock act these days and stuff, so you've got to put it out there. And people might not be as aware of you as they were like 5 years ago, and, you know, people might be into other stuff, so it's like, how do we do something that can appeal to more people but still retain who we are? And that's why we did do an album this time that's quite a lot more varied and stuff, because we were like, we want to show people that it's not just, rock music ain't just like one thing. It's not all about screaming, it's not all about guitars.
We've always got to fight to stay relevant and to stay in the scene, and we've always just felt like we're not the next big thing, we're not the next big band, we're not. I think it's just a good way to feel. For us it's just a good way to be. I think we just trusted ourselves, and this is the best thing in the world we could be doing, so let's put our money into it, let's take that jump, let's take that risk, let's not save all our money. Or, you know, when we go out on tour we want it to be the best show ever, so even if we're coming home and we've not made any money because we put it all into our production, it's like, yeah, but how good are them shows going to be? After 15 years it's still an issue that we don't have blast beats in our music anymore. We're not heavy, even though we've broke all these barriers and done all these things and achieved, like, musically, things that I never thought we'd achieve, and so proud of what we do, but at the same time, a kid on social media can just go, this is complete shit. I can be like, fantastic. I bet kids don't realise how much they do have an effect on us in the forums. Sometimes we'll read, and the words and sentences, they'll never realise that we're reading, and we're still there, and we're still, you know, living and breathing.
Something you've changed with the band. I don't know, I think a lot of them though came between like Sempiternal, like they were probably about 15, 16 when that came out. There's still some people I think who like the band from the very beginning, and then there's some who jumped on each album. Some people probably jumped off along the way as well.
If you were hoping that the new Bring Me the Horizon album was going to be heavy, Unfortunately, you're probably going to be out of luck. This is going to be the band's poppiest album they've ever made.
Bring Me the Horizon have evolved their sound in a softer direction in recent years, which has had a polarizing effect on some longtime fans, while allowing the band to gain a new audience. The music we've heard so far from their upcoming Ammo album still has a rock heaviness to it, but the band just released one of their poppiest songs to date today.
Bring Me the Horizon is getting some criticism geared towards their new single Medicine, of which they dropped a new music video for earlier today. This song is very much a pop song in every way, shape, or form, and there are a lot of people who do not like that. People leaving comments like, Bring Me the Pop. Ollie Sykes in the past has said that, you could compare Bring Me the Horizon's future to that of what you're seeing with 21 Pilots, where there's a lot of electronic elements out there. So for those who are hoping for heavier stuff, some hard rock stuff, it might not be that way, but we don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
That's our kind of mission, is to make rock music more accessible and cross over and work with other artists and stuff and make people like stuff that they never, would have thought they would have liked.